Hello everybody and welcome to another Wardy's Waffle Farm update. Hope you've enjoyed the last couple of videos and the farm tours, because here we have part 3, the final part of looking around the layout of the farm. So please come back to with any questions, and here we go with the last farm tour. Through the farm now, weighbridge here as you can see, and then we'll head back out across the road. So carrying on now across onto the rest of the farm and onto where we do the contract farming. I'll just open this gate. It doesn't open when you drive up to it. We have to have, we've got a little keypad and a little zapper to do it, and we also do it from our phone. So yeah, we've got the A17, as you know, right outside the farm gate. So this is it here. It's a Saturday morning, so there isn't quite so much traffic and lorries on it as normal. There we go. Let's just cross the road. Yeah, so this for contract farmers, the larger one we do, it's about 450 acres, and when you look down here, it's right across the road, so it's really handy for us because it is just so near to us. And we've been doing this farm now since about 2010, I think it was when we started, so been doing it quite a while. They're sort of family friends. I think they're actually related to us, to my father, and actually obviously to me as well, if you go back. So I think they are my half cousins, but it's really handy being across the road. And the buildings they've got here, the range of farm buildings, they're small grain stores. They're about, I think they hold about 300 tons in each. You can see there's a whole row of them here, but the end two at the far end are a little bit higher, a bit taller than the others, but they've all got floor dryers in, which is good, similar to the wooden floor that you've seen on our own shed. So they're good, useful sheds to put in different crops in, but it's just the height of them is a bit tricky with our trailers. So that's why we've got 16-ton Bailey trailers, and we won't go to 18-ton at the minute because we won't be able to tip them. So around the back here, there's about 120 acres. There's 4 fields here. These are all growing oats, and this particular batch of land was really bad for blackgrass, and we have had I think 10 years here of spring cropping since we sprayed off all this area 10 years ago. We sprayed it off with Roundup as a growing crop in May, because there was so much blackgrass here you couldn't see what was growing. So we actually stopped it from seeding, and we've had continuous spring cropping since. So we are really pleased and proud of the amount of blackgrass that we've got rid of, and really how we've changed a lot of the land round, and not just our own farm but this one also, because this one did have a lot of blackgrass, as I say. So got a couple of pheasants in front of us. So yeah, this block of land was particularly bad. It is not quite as heavy, this block of land, as our own. The soils are clay soils. It's about a 35-40% clay, all drained underneath, as all our land is. It's all drained actually everywhere. Our heavy land is all got drains, gravel, pores filling above them. So we'll just turn around here, but there's 4 fields here, and they're all the same. We keep them all the same cropping. So we'll go back down this track and join the A17, and we've just got our farm across the road just there. You can just see the whiteboard. So this is where we are. So we're just hitting the A17 now, and yeah, it's fantastic to come out here and not have to wait at the road for ages, waiting for lorries coming. You can see it's quite empty. So this particular land is still heavy clay soils down here. It's on the lowland. It's on the Trent Valley still, even though we're in Lincolnshire and the River Trent is in Nottinghamshire. But it's difficult soils when the weather obviously is against you, but we have to deal with that. We do drill later because of blackgrass than normal, but we are starting to drill now a little bit earlier because we've actually got on top of the blackgrass. So here we are at Brant-Bruton Crossroads, Stragglethorpe it's known, and straight on is Newark. Newark is about 7 or 8, 9 miles in front of us, and that's why it's so handy growing sugar beet, because we are so near to the factory. There is an international go-kart circuit here, PFI, if any of you are into that sport. So we'll head on now across and into the village of Stragglethorpe. Cropping of this farm is very similar to ours, and I'm just fortunate in that the farmer and the person who owns the land lets us get on with it, and we crop it the same because it's just easier. But I do get on with him. We have regular meetings throughout the year just to discuss sort of philosophy and what we're going to do with the land and next year's cropping and just various aspects of the farm. And it's great that he trusts us to be able to just do what we want to do with the land and grow the best crops we possibly can. And the land is very similar soil type to our own, and we managed to store it all in his sheds that you've just seen. So we don't store any of his produce. We might store the odd ton or two if his sheds get full, but generally we don't store any of his produce anywhere on our farm or in any of our buildings, even though we've got room. He's got enough room of his own on his own farm. So we're just coming out of the village of Stragglethorpe now, and we'll just I'll turn the camera around and we'll go down one of his tracks that join onto the back of our farm. Just before I do that, just before I turn off the road, this particular farm. Sorry, I've just got someone tied up behind me, as always. Let me just right, I'm off the road now, so I will turn the camera around and show you where we are. So I've just opened the gate down the lane, and if you can see for the sun, it's an extremely low sun at the minute. It's quite early in the morning, so the sun's just a bit dazzling. But this is his farm track down to a block of land that he's got down here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's some quite small fields down here, but there will be about 120 acres probably in this block of land. But the useful thing with this is this joins onto the back, on the back of our own farm, so it's quite handy sometimes at harvest time to go from one field to the other. We're growing beans in this particular block of land here, this field here. If I can just get out the sun and show you, the beans are looking quite good. Spring beans these are Vespa for seed for agri, and you can just see there they're looking quite healthy. And we've got a heap of sewage sludge there that is going to be spread after harvest and before we plant winter wheat. Just looking at 1 or 2 of these fields here, you can see some wild oats there waving about, so these need pulling. These fields haven't done these yet. We'll be on to those this next week. And yeah, they're really easy to see, wild oats are, compared to black grass that is often only just level with the top of the crop. So we're just coming back out onto the main road now. We've farmed both sides of this road here. On the right we've got some more beans, and again these are spring beans for seed. So we farm either side of these hedges. So contract farming, we've got 3 contract farms altogether. We're farming 1,600 acres in total, including our own. 2 of the contract farms are only just over 100 acres, whereas this one's about 450. That's actually cropped area. We've got more than that because it's into stewardship. But we farm all the contract farms, we farm 2 of them on a profit share basis. So we charge them a set figure to start with, and that sort of just covers our costs. And then after that we get a share of the profits, and we set different levels, percentage levels. So it's a bit difficult to explain without you see it down in writing, but it's the first up to the first certain percentage of turnover, we get a sort of an extra payment, and then we get another tier on top of that, an extra payment. So really, the better the contract farms do, the more return we get, and so that's an incentive obviously for us to do the best we can and try and get them the most return. So this actually now is just Fullbeck Airfield on the right, and that was where in the war it was used heavily in the Second World War. So just turning now down onto a smaller road down towards the village of Fullbeck. We're farming this field of wheat on our left. It's a small field. It's only 6.5 hectares, but really long. It's only 2 tram lines wide, but a bit wider at this other end. and this on the left belongs to one of our smaller contract farms, and this is why it's so handy that we're all in a ring fence, and our own farm and the contract farms are all over each other's hedges, so looking really close. This is back to the larger of the contract farms, and this actually is the largest field we farm. It's 67 acres in total. It goes round the corner to the right, just round that hedge corner, but it is the largest field we farm, and it's great for getting work done because it's good long rounds up and down, obviously less turning in the field. So just looking out over this large field, you can see we've got a heap of sewage sludge there. This green patch is where the plastic panels are put down for the lorries to run on. But yeah, you can just see this field. Lovely piece of wheat. This was oats last year. No black grass in it either. It's been pulled. Sorry, it hasn't been pulled yet, but it will get walked over. But there's virtually nothing in it now compared to where there was a few years ago. So yeah, good looking piece of wheat. So this road leads up to Fullbeck village, and Fullbeck is the next door village to Leadenham, and there's actually a cracking pub there. If any of you are passing through this area, it's called the Hare and Hounds. I go there quite frequently. It's very good food, but also the people running it are really nice as well, so it's really good. This is a block of land that belongs the largest of the contract farms. There are 4 fields here, again about 40 hectares altogether. I won't open the gate here because it just takes I've just got to go through there, and it takes a bit of doing. So but there's four fields here. You can just see as well we've got some more sewage sludge there, and we've got some more sewage sludge right in the distance. You can just see it black there at the base of those trees. And this block of land is really difficult, heavy clay soils. There is some black grass in this land at the moment. There is also stewardship. This contract farm, you can just see down here the yellow flowers and things. This farm is also in stewardship like we are, and so we do all the work for that. Then just backing out now onto this road, I see we actually have Alex and all the blackgrass pullers here today. There they are in the distance. You can just see them there. And this is a field. This field was quite bad this time, worse than we've had for a long while. So yeah, this field in front of us is quite bad. It's the earliest we've planted our winter wheat this year, which is about the 12th, 13th, 14th of October. And we haven't had any blackgrass seed in these fields for a few years, but it's quite clear that there is still quite a lot of seed in the soil. So this next year, I'm just a bit undecided whether we have this block of land rape to bring it back. There hasn't been oilseed rape for 7 years. But we still, whatever we have in here, even if we have rape now and wheat next year, I'm going to go back to not drilling this field until the 25th of October, because and the block of land behind me you've just seen with the barrier across, because clearly there's still a lot of blackgrass seed in there, and I know from experience delaying your drilling and planting of winter wheat until at least the 25th of October has a massive impact on blackgrass control. And you've heard me say before that I don't agree with farmers that say to me, oh well, your land must be easier than ours because if I left mine while the end of October I'd never get it in. I just don't believe in that sort of philosophy. I'm a big believer in adapting and doing things and creating a resilient soil and creating an environment for you able to get on when you can. Now if the weather closes in and we can't get it planted, then we obviously just put it into spring cropping, and that doesn't worry me at all, because as I've said before, a good decent spring crop will give you far better returns than a blackgrass infested winter crop. Anyway, I've got Alex coming here to have a word with me now and sign a few papers, and so I'll be back to you in a minute. Yeah, here's Alex. He's just come back from the where his gang is. He's got something in his hand. Obviously he's pulled some he's missed. This is the thing with blackgrass, it is very, very difficult to get it all, but keep looking forward and back, when the low sun doesn't help either. Alex was just saying how bad these fields are for blackgrass, and you can just see this is the heap here he's pulled, and when you look at, compared to my vehicle there, how big this heap is of weeds, they've all been hand pulled. but you can just see the this is the black grass, these are the seeds in the ear. So yeah, he's doing a fantastic job pulling all this lot and stopping it seeding, and it just shows how big a problem it is across there. Thank you, Alex. See you soon. So just heading back now into towards really, I suppose it's heading towards our farm, but it's into another one of the contract farms, and this is where it's so good that all the land we farm all joins onto each other. So really we just farm in one block, apart from the light land up on the heath in the first farm tour that I showed you. There is some other land separates that, and that is about probably from here now it's about 3.5-4 miles away from here. But this track isn't ours. It's a bit rougher, as you can see from the camera going up and down. I've just missed one field on the right. I'll reverse. So this is one of the fields that we're doing of the other one of the smaller contract farms. Nice long field, you can see in the distance. And this farmer actually has lets another guy, local haylage contractor or haylage person who produces a lot of haylage have this. And so we're growing wheat once every 4 years. He's growing 3 years of grass and then 1 year wheat on the farm. And it just does take a lot of actually getting the crop established, because after the grass it's really, really hard and compacted. And we are just looking at other ways we can do it. It's only the second year we've actually had this farm, and so we are just wondering whether we can do it any cheaper than we are, because it is taking quite a bit of time and obviously fuel and everything, and costs in establishing the crop. So we are fine-tuning it. We've changed it this year compared to last year. Last year was the first year we were in this farm, and we did use the solo. I'll just turn the camera around. Yeah, so last year we actually worked the grassland with the Simba Solo, but it was so dry and hard. So I'm going to say last year, I mean sort of 2 years ago. It was so dry and hard, the Solo brought lots of lumps up and created us quite a bit of work, and we did have to knock it down with the cultipress probably 3 times. We had the Express on it as well. You've seen our machinery. Yeah, it did take quite a lot of working down, which obviously took us quite a bit of fuel in doing it, and I'm glad fuel then was only about 45-50p a litre and not £1.20 a litre where it is now. Whereas this last autumn we actually put the Elita through it, which is our low disturbance subsoiler that you've seen that we made out of a Simba Solo, and that did create a lot better seed bed and a lot less soil movement, and we've actually got better crops for it. I'll just turn the camera back round now, because we're back into towards the back of our own farm, but a real quiet area on one of the other contract farms. So this here now, the field on our left in a minute. Sorry for the roughness, it's a very rough track just here. So this field of wheat I'm coming to in a minute, just round the corner of this hedge. This belongs to the same person who has the haylage and grass contractor. A long narrow field, but you can just see I'm really pleased with how some of these wheats are looking. They're looking really, really well, and when you look down there, full of promise. These are good lot of ears per square metre, a lot better than on the light land, on the heathland that you've seen, where they are quite thin. So I'll just reverse and turn around. So this here on the right is the other smaller contract farm, and again, good looking wheats. This has been in winter wheat now for about 4 years on the trot. Really, really, really difficult soil. It's awful. 55% clay, nearly blue clay, and we put sewage sludge in it quite a lot, but it's very, very difficult. But look at that, looking really good. Look at the ears looking in there, blowing in the wind. So we've got good winter wheat crops on the heavy land this year, and I'm pleased with this. And we've used the Elita, the low disturbance subsoiler, quite a lot this time, and with the Unipress on the back. to just with the front tines just to work it, and I think it's worked really well actually doing it. The Simba free flow drill works well into that condition, and we did drill these a little bit earlier this year because of the soil type, and I think it's actually paid off. This is only a bit of a rough track through somebody else's land. We do come down here with a sprayer, but you can see the trees above are a bit small. We need to come down here with the access cage on the Manitou, or the man cage on the Manitou, and just chop some of these branches off. But nice quiet walk actually. I often come down here with Nala and Frankie and walk through here because it is really lovely quiet spot, as you can see. Nice area, plenty of trees. So just one or two more aspects of the farm. Obviously you've seen we do a lot of work with agri, and we actually have an agri agronomist, but I sort of keep on top and have regular discussions with the agronomist Fred. I'm quite fortunate. I know quite a lot of the varieties and chemistry and things myself, and what works and what doesn't work. But we get all our chemicals and a lot of our plant protection products. They come via Woldmarsh. Woldmarsh is a buying group, and I think I did actually speak to the chief executive of Woldmarsh only at the Lincolnshire show the other day, and he said they have got now just over about 1,100 members. That covers Lincolnshire, Leicestershire, Nottinghamshire, Derbyshire, and the turnover will be well over 100 million now, 120 million probably. So really good way of buying things, and because of the huge buying power they've got, they get good terms. And so I just make one phone call with them and they know who to get it from, and I get all the fuel from them. You could build a house through them if you want to get all building materials. They've got lots of tie-ins. You can buy vehicles through them as well. They've got discount with Toyota as one particular name, one that just comes to mind. They used to have Land Rover, but I think Land Rover have actually stopped having these sort of discounts now, because they can sell every vehicle they can get without having to offer any discount. So we'll just turn back along this field into this larger field. Just got a partridge in front of me. So just driving along this grass track here. This is one of the this is the headland, the edge of the field, and it's not in any stewardship scheme because we won't be driving around it. I won't be allowed to drive around it if it was. But just down on my left, and you can't quite see now, the long grass covers it, but there is maybe just see there, if you can just see down there, yeah, there is quite a biggish river just down here. It's obviously, because it's very dry, there's not a lot of water in it, and that's known as the River Brant, and that joins into the River Witham behind, and it's controlled by the Upper Witham Drainage Board, and we actually pay drainage rates to that drainage board to help them, because they weed this river out and manage it every winter, and just scope it out the bottom with a sort of one of those baskets that have like a ciliating knife in the bottom, just like a knife on a combine header that cuts the crop. And so we do pay drainage rates, because this land is all drained, all under tile drained, all pores filled with gravel above the drains to within about 12 inches of the soil surface. So I'll just turn around here because it's all the same up there. But yeah, again, wheat's looking really well here. This was oats last year, and you can just see there by the thickness of the ears. Really pleased with how these are looking, and this weather and this sunshine will be doing them some good. So just going back now, back towards the main farm. You can see it's a lovely sunny day here. This is a real minor road up to Fullbeck Village, where we came from in the other direction a few minutes ago. And this, we are now looking due west, if you like, heading that's sort of over Newark direction. I'll just turn left here. You can see we are village of Brantbruton to the right, Brandon and Marsden to the left. This road, actually, if you carry on up this road here another 15 minutes, it'll actually get you on the A1 near Grantham. And I'll just turn in here, and you can see this is another like a smaller go-kart circuit. This is Fullbeck Airfield. They've actually got a meet on today, you can see in the distance. car there with a go-kart. Well, yeah, with a cart on the back. We'll just try and catch him up. Just see there, he's got a small one on the back. So the only field, we used to farm quite a bit of land inside this airfield, but then when the Ministry of Defence owned it, but they then sold it off and somebody else bought it. There's about 800 acres in here, and because of all the runways in here and uncropped areas, I think there was something like 250 uncropped areas due to concrete and woods and things like that. And so we lost some of that. It was one of the contract farms had some of that. I wondered about putting in a bid for it, but when it was up for sale, but I didn't in the end, and probably obviously maybe should have done. But the field in front of us, we do still farm that one, and that belongs our largest of our contract farms, and that again's looking well. That was oats last year, yeah, looking well. So I'm quite pleased with how a lot of our winter weeks look. So obviously it's an unknown until we get the combine in the field to see how they perform. Here's somebody else coming in with a cart to go on the circuit. And just get back onto the road. So that really is all the land that we've done. We've looked round. Just spot some oats in the field on the right. Obviously we've got to get to pull those. Yes, that is all the land we've looked round. Just to talk about a little bit more about the machinery. Obviously we've changed how we used to, or how we've done things compared to we used to do them. We used to plough quite a lot, but obviously we've stopped ploughing now and we use the solo. You've seen a lot of my videos and thoughts, and obviously our direct drilling day, reducing establishment costs by direct drilling. But again, I'm lucky in the contract farms who we farm for, they let me get on with it, and they're quite happy for us to cultivate land if we want to cultivate it, because obviously they're seeing the returns from that. So they're on board with that, which is good to know. Just going back to a little bit about family history. My father was when he was actively farming, was widely regarded as one of the best farmers in Lincolnshire by many people, and I feel immensely proud actually to have had him, if you like, as a father and as a tutor, and given me a lot of the knowledge he had in farming. He was very, very forward thinking, and obviously for letting me get on the tenancy, or allowing me to get on the tenancy when I was 27, was extremely forward thinking, I suppose, really, and brave in a way. So yeah, I've got a lot to thank my father for, because he's instilled a lot of good things into me. And he's and the land and the farm, yes, I've expanded it since, and obviously since I've been running it, we've done different things and changed a lot of things around, but still, you know, a lot of what I do today, I wouldn't have been doing those things, and wouldn't have the sort of the foresight or the mindset to do them if it wasn't for my father. So we're just now coming up to Stragglethorpe and Brantbruton crossroads. You'll see it is a busy crossroads. I'm just going to pull over here and just wait. There we go. I'll just turn the camera around and you'll see what the traffic's like on a Saturday. It's a bit later in the morning. It's 10 to 8 in the morning now. More cars on a Saturday than lorries, but if you were to come here in a week, and especially Friday from 11 o'clock through to the rest of the day, is absolutely horrendous on this A17. It's really massively busy road. So yeah, that's it really, looking around the farm now, and I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I haven't explained to you about it. Labour, we've got two full-time guys in Tom and Ruben helping us on the farm. Ruben's been with us just over 2 years now. He originates from Devon. His family are dairy farmers down in Devon, and so he's been with us just over 2 years. And then Tom, no, we're just going past the farm now, and Tom has been with us since. So I just realised I need to turn in here. Luckily we've got a lane here, one of our farm tracks that joins on the A17 just around here, so I just need to cross this road. I've got a lorry coming up behind me, so I just need to get out of the way fairly quick. Ruben's been with us since about just over 2 years, and Tom only I think about a year. He started with us last July, so nearly a year, and both of them get on well with each other, and I get on very well with them, which is great. They do have I'll try and give them a lot of responsibility to take pressure off me. Obviously I'm doing lots of different things in farming, away from the farm here, but connected with farming, and they're really forward thinking and bright, and I'm really just I'm lucky to have them. And then also we have Ian Hooton, who helps us part-time in the workshop. Ian used to work at Simbers. He was in the design team, and I've known Ian many years with all the Simber machinery he had. He used to come here 20 years ago, testing machinery and doing modifications to our machinery, so I've known him a long while. But with all the Simber kit we have on the farm, it's great to have him helping us with all his knowledge of how the machines were built, and obviously we had a great association with Simber over the years. We were one of their demonstration farms. I used to go abroad talking a lot at conferences and showing other farmers how the machinery worked. And a lot of what we do today and how we work the land is all down to Simber machinery. And again, the sort of foresight that a lot of the directors had. I know I'm still in touch with the directors and some of the guys who were the main men at Simber. And I used to work. I actually went to Ukraine for 3 years and was helping the large farm over there, and they wanted me to work for them a lot more and do cultivation strategies for them, and to have a strategy for every field on the farm. It was a large 60,000 acre farm in the Ukraine, and used to do a lot of work there and sort of help set the machines up and go over various times of the year. So obviously with what's happening in Ukraine at the moment, it's it brings back a lot of memories, because I've been to a lot of those areas that's been bombed now. But I was working on a farm near Lviv, and that's one of the main farms that I was helping, and I helped them change all their machinery strategy and the machinery into Simber machinery, and establishing all seed rape behind the leg, and I helped them do that and fine tune the machinery and help the operators set the machinery up, and spent quite a lot of time in Ukraine. So I've a real soft spot for the country and for the people. So that's it, and that's the final part of the farm tour, having a bit of a look around the farm and the layout and how the farm operates. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next update, cheerio.